Peace. It is an honor to have you here. Occult practice is more than just a hobby. It is both art and skill that actually affects one's day-to-day life. But how? And isn't that dangerous? Well, no part of your life is completely separated from the rest. The food, rest, job or lack of, trauma, family and friends, everything is interconnected. And so it goes for occult practice too. Everything you do inevitably leaves a mark. One well-known example of occult practice is meditation. It's not only occultists who practice meditation. It is well known that many more people do it, provided that they actually practice properly and give it some real dedication. Meditation, in my example, focus on breath and keeping my quiet, is healing for the person. It can improve sleep and focus. It simply has some positive impact on your life. Negative one is that it is time-consuming. You have to give that hour a day to meditating if you want some real effect. If you do it right with the occult arts, your life will improve because you will improve. It is as simple as that. Well, if you do it right. There are people who practice wrong and it doesn't work for them. Or they start practicing in a way that makes them worsen themselves. Inevitably, their life can get really bad too. I'm hesitating in making this overall claim. Because every life is unique and anyone can get into really big trouble without causing it anyhow. Life can play really bad with us. So I cannot simply say do occult and you will be well in every way. That is simply not true. You, however, can use occult arts to, let's say, play the game of life better with the cards that you have. You cannot change the cards you have, but you can definitely become a better player with them. If nothing else, if you keep summoning spirits and promising them something, and you learn to keep your word, you will inevitably be keeping your words to humans as well, who will see you as person they can trust. If you do energy magic and therefore care for your body, you eat better and work out to keep yourself fit and strong, well, you will have stronger and healthier body all day along. Isn't that an advantage? There is a saying, fit body is not a gift, but a reward. And it seems to be true. Even if you are young and fit without extra care, you cannot bet on it remaining that way if you become lazy. So much for personal level, I guess. When it comes to people around you, things can get difficult. The term occult means hidden, and the truth is, at least in our society, people tend to keep this knowledge and practices hidden for good reasons. A good mage is a powerful person, and people fear them. People fear others with more power than they themselves have. Irony, I think, because as far as I know, everyone can learn these arts if they want. Some people solve this by being lazy and rather follow a religion for a promise of all-powerful being protecting them and borrowing them its powers in exchange for loyalty and worship. Just so they can look powerless to each other and therefore safe to be around. Weird. But about that fear, it is unfortunate but real. Shamans and other magic practitioners live at the edge of society. I assume that, just like during the history, they are probably still both admired and feared. Sought when people need their power, especially if they want to use it against someone else. But then they start fearing and hating them, because someone else can pay these people to turn their power against them. There still are people of occult arts who are getting paid to cause people to break up and get divorced, who make magic to cause bad luck, and so on. People still pay for it, and so there are people who make a living this way. Only because people still want to hurt each other, but not to be responsible for it. There is another interesting feel people have of the powerful ones, or awakened ones. That is exposing of secrets. You can imagine how cool it can be to be a person able to read thoughts or even entire souls. Well, until you realize that secrets could get out. And everyone has secrets. Everyone has some secret they do not want to be known. Some secrets would be shameful. Some would ruin reputation, or even worse. That is a necessity of living in our society. Some things are simply not to be known. Some things are not to be said. Because some things, once said, cannot be taken back, and will remain a part of our reputation for a very long time, if not for the rest of our life. Personally, I would say that for a mystic or occult practitioner that cares for their personal evolution and their life, it is quite reasonable to keep occult art occult, meaning keeping them secret. Society is not ready for that, for each person to be powerful. Or maybe it is just that society is made of people who are too afraid of being powerful, because it is still true that with power comes responsibility. And responsibility is sign of one being grown up. But that demands to stop being afraid and accept the consequences of our actions. Maybe that is the next step our society has to take now. Maybe. Maybe. All right? Thank you for your time. Go in peace and guard your heart well.